What is good, Sham fam? Today we are breaking down some gameplay from some of the Warzone's best players in the game. Now this is a video series I've been itching to start and get out to you guys, and finally it is here. So today we're going to be breaking down the legend himself Almxnd's gameplay of a 44 kill solo quads game. Now the hopes is that by breaking down this gameplay, we as Warzone players ourselves can learn a little something new, improve our overall skill, maybe help us get some more kills, more wins, etc, etc. So throughout this video, I'm going to let some clips play of Almxnd's gameplay, and then we're going to break it down and see what he's doing differently than maybe me or you that's helping him be just that much better than the rest of the population. So without wasting any more of your time, let's go ahead and jump into the gameplay. And remember, if you learn something new or you just enjoy the content, please be sure to subscribe to the channel, drop me a comment, show me some love, follow me on social media, whatever you feel the need to do. But let's go ahead and check out the gameplay. Now guys, one of the first and foremost most important things you need to keep in mind and look at what he's doing. He's looking at the zone so that when he comes out of the plane, he's trying to find somewhere that meets his goals or his expectations. Are we trying to play for a win, high kills, play for both? What is the goal at hand here? If you're just playing for a win and you want zone positioning and you want equipment, find somewhere where you can go that's maybe remote. You don't have to fight off rip. You can get your gear, get your loadout, get your equipment, whatever you're looking for. That way you can be prepared for new zone positioning and staying ahead of the game. If you're looking for kills, then you're going to want to land somewhere that might get you started hot, even if you got to take them on with a pistol or ground loot. Land somewhere where you know you can capitalize on those kills, or somewhere that's very close to a hot spot where you can get some guns that you're comfortable with and immediately push the hot drop. It all depends on your goals. Keep that in mind. That is the number one thing that, you know, to start your match off right, start with some good momentum that'll get you going.
How you gonna drive it like that? Fully day trap on it, now you can go for it now. No one's gonna go for it. Full day trap on it. I saw that guy, there's mistake. There's a guy there.
So guys, that kind of brings up our second tip here, is the stick and move method. Now Almxnd's going to be doing this, and a lot of pros do this, especially when they're soloing quads or soloing any teams, but you can do this with your team, without your team, no matter what game mode you're in, BR Resurgence. Stick and move is essentially the same thing as in fighting. You want to punch and then kind of move, reposition. That's what he's doing. He is throwing jabs with his DMR, getting a down, getting damage, whatever you want to call it. As soon as he gets that damage on the solo person or the one or two people, he immediately rotates to a new angle. You never want to keep pushing the same angle over and over and over, because that team, especially when you're by yourself, is going to be able to isolate you and triple team you, and the TTK can get very fast very quickly with desync and other things involved. So what he's doing is he is taking his time, trying to create the advantage for his self every single engagement and fight he takes. So you'll see him constantly getting a down, changing angle, getting a down, reloading, replating, changing an angle.
Drop headed your way.
So jumping back into the last topic I just kind of hinted at, thirsting your kills. This is a very, very important thing that is probably getting a lot of you guys killed in any of your games. If you have 1 to 2 players down, you immediately go and try to finish them with your bullets, with a throwing knife, with utility, whatever it may be. What a lot of these pros do, and what you'll notice throughout Almxnd's gameplay here, is he's constantly going to down somebody, and as we talked before, he's going to reposition, but he's not going to even worry about thirsting the kill. The only time he may start to increase how fast he tries to thirst a player is if he hears him selfing, sees him selfing, or has an internal clock going about 1 to 3 seconds saying, okay, they may, as soon as I down them, they have about 3 to 5 seconds to start rezzing. So essentially what you have to think about is, okay, is is the one kill that I'm going to try and thirst worth me dying and the game being over, or going to gulag and having to reset and do all that? Or is it worth downing the guy, waiting to check your surroundings for just, 3 to 5 seconds, or if you have information like he has a UAV going on, looking for potential threats in the area? Now guys, what I love about this play is that Almxnd is using every technique that we've ever talked about, will talk about. It is a masterclass in how to handle a 1v whatever in Battle Royale, and obviously the situation has to be perfect, but he is using a lot of techniques here. So let's just break it down.
Watch out.
I don't mean to say it. Imagine I go 51 and then he go 50 and like broke after that.
Hold up. I actually gotta lock in this game. I am in a fucking lobby RP.
Okay, you were on where I was on. I was on 16 to 60 left as well.
Hold up. Oh.
UAV is bingo fuel. RTV at this time. The enemy is no longer tracking you. You lost him.
He pops the UAV initially to get the information of who's around him. He notices two are very close, and he catches the first one slipping. No fault of that guy, but no sound usually. So gets that first down and immediately tries to reposition because he sees the second one is very close. As he's trying to reposition, he goes straight into the door and closes it with just enough time between him and the other enemy. And these door plays are huge because it can change the whole momentum of a close quarters fight. It can create a camera situation where I bang the door open on you and it causes your character model to flip up and lose sight of where I went, and just overall cause confusion, giving me the advantage as the aggressor. So as the guy chases him into the door, he immediately runs back out. The guy's probably cameraed a little bit and trying to figure out, okay, he just ran out, let me not chase immediately, while Almxnd's sitting there prone, which is a great tactic to wait and catch the guy off guard if he would have chased. The timing works out where as soon as Almxnd stands up and he rounds this corner, he gets just enough shots, which is perfect chest head height with his crosshair placement, to get that down and immediately turn direction and not try to thirst. Again, he's sticking and moving, but in a lot faster and closer quarters. He gets down and immediately starts trying to plate and cut the line of sight to the enemy chasing him. Now, cutting the line of sight is huge in these close range battles because you just want to buy yourself enough time to get one plate, maybe have quick fix going, maybe reload. So any little second counts. He cuts the line of sight, jumps into the window just barely, getting his plates off, and he is ready for the guy to chow. He knows he's, hungry for that kill, and he's been playing thirsty chasing the whole time, so he just re-peeks the window, which the guy thinks Almxnd is just hauling ass, and he gets that down as well. Now, you would think the fight's over, but now he throws down the personal radar using all his utility at his disposal to try and get information on where this last guy is coming from. He notices he's around the truck or behind the building, so as he jumps out, he thinks he saw him behind the truck, I think is why he starts throwing the utility there, but it turns out the guy's much closer, and he reacts with just good gunshot, crosshair placement, and movement to get the final team wipe. Now, none of this would have been possible if he wasn't sticking and moving, having great crosshair placement, using utility to his advantage, and cutting lines of sight. So these are all things individually that you can learn to do over time and then try to combine them so that it'll help you improve your overall game.
No, man. Like, this is just what happens, bro.
Now we get to a very pivotal moment in every player's competitive experience in Battle Royale, is the gulag. So obviously, guys, if you are in a tournament scenario, if you're trying to bring home a win, if you're just trying to improve, you have got to increase your survive rate when it comes to winning the gulag. The trick to playing these gulags, as you see Almxnd do here, is you got to play it for information first and then act on it. A lot of times, if you just aggro one lane, you're probably going to get dropped, especially in higher tier lobbies. But it also depends on the kit that you have. So he has a UMP, so he's going to want to try and play it maybe a little more close range instead of holding a long angle. So what I really like that Almxnd does here is he chooses the left angle to kind of slide to and doesn't see anything as he's crossing over. So he uses utility to check the far right hand side where there's no sound cues that he could really use to his advantage, while probably listening for the water to his left, which is very audible if you haven't heard it before. So now he's essentially got 2 lanes covered, one with sound information, one with his utility. That means the only other place he could be most likely is either mid or sitting back in his spawn. So as soon as he starts the chow, he notices the guy there and it's on. Now of course he uses a little bit of movement to juke and dodge this guy, which takes practice and just repetition, but the fact that he was able to reduce the angles that he had to look or think where the enemy was going to be also adjusted how he was probably going to play this person. Now this is different when you have like the Sidewinder, dual Glocks, something like that. In that kind of gulag, you may expect somebody to full rush you with the dual Glocks, or they're just going to sit and hold an angle with that DMR because it's got a lot of kick to it and it's not the greatest weapon in the world. So when you're in the gulag, you need to try and figure out how to minimize the angles that you have to worry about and how can you use utility or sound to your advantage.
I have no gulag here, bro.
Now what I love here is as soon as he comes back, he spots one of those public loadouts, uses it as cover to get the guy off of it, and immediately is regained, getting shot at, throws a smoke, perfect, and shoots the window out. I love it, I love it, I love it. It's just one of those rotations you don't really think about. That's not like a crazy play, but something a lot of players wouldn't have thought to do. Not only is he smoked off so that he can rotate, but he shoots the glass out so that he doesn't have to try and jump off while getting shot at. He can just jump straight through the window, and lo and behold, there's an armor and an ammo box there to regain completely. So it's almost like he never left. Guys, the next tip is if you're ever looking for rotations, especially in this map, there's a lot of buildings and a lot of zip lines, a lot of redeploy drones as well. But if there isn't a redeploy drone or vehicle near and you want to try and get some height so parachute to a new place, don't forget you can use these zip lines like he kind of did, but he did it in a very abbreviated manner where you can zip up to it and jump off and parachute. Now it's not as effective as a redeploy drone, but if you're ever looking to get height and parachute over somebody or to a new objective or just get a little further distance instead of running, those are very valid ways to rotate, and a lot of people won't be expecting those. Now yes, you're exposing the sky, but that's just a pro or con that you got to weigh out. Now another tip for you guys, throughout all these fights, if you have noticed, a lot of times when he gets a kill, he keeps it moving. Now if he is in desperate need of some ammo, or he sees some utility as far as a UAV, precision, something on the ground that could be useful, he may scoop it up, but it's a very quick, I got the down, I'm running through their body, I'm just picking up whatever ammo my backpack will pick up automatically, and I'm scanning real quick. Is there a gas mask? Is there a redeploy? Is there a gulag kit? That kind of thing. If I don't see those, I'm keeping it moving. I don't need to stop and pick through every single piece of loot there is, and I would almost guarantee you that that is a lot of players' problems outside of trying to thirst players. After they get a team wipe, they are just sitting there looting, and when you have 4 people doing that, it slows the game down, it keeps you from getting your kill goals, and it also keeps you from getting to rotations on time ahead of teams, or just leaves you exposed out in the open after a lot of gunfire just happened, whether you had silencers on or not. It could have given away your position, so teams are thirsty trying to come third party you and get you out of the lobby. So don't stop to loot unless you absolutely need to, but a lot of times there's so many ammo boxes around the map that you could still resupply without having to stop and pick through all the loot individually from the teams you're killing. So get the kills, run through it, keep moving, don't stop.
No, bro, his teammate's down there, man.
Now guys, don't worry, that's the end of this video, but there will be plenty of more to come of us breaking down gameplay from all of your favorite Warzone streamers and pros. If there's certain players or streamers you want me to break down their gameplay, be sure to drop it in the comments. And don't forget to show love to the people we actually break down. So go over to Almxnd's channel, go hit subscribe, go follow him on Twitch, YouTube, all his social media, show some love and some support to these players. And if you love everything Warzone or Call of Duty, be sure to check out the rest of the channel and hit that subscribe button. But until next time, Sham Fam, I am out.